All right, everybody, here is our area and circumference study guide. So let's check it out and see what we need to work on. So the first one says the circle is shown. Identify the parts of it. So center of the circle is right there, letter P. A diameter, remember diameter goes all the way across the circle, so that's going to be through the center, so R to Q. The way that you're going to show that is you can write RQ, or you can write QR and put a line over it. 3 radii go from the center to edge. So our 3 radii can be PR, and put a line over it, PS, and PQ. You could write the letters in different orders. You could write QP, you could write SP, you could write RP, but we should have all 3 of them. Number 3 talks about Zach running 5 laps around a circular track. So to help us visualize that, it might help to draw a circle. And it says that the diameter has a length of 150 feet. So diameter all the way across through the middle is 150. We want to know how far he ran. So luckily we have circumference equals pi times diameter. For pi we're using 3.14 times the diameter, so 150. So we're going to use our calculator to do that. And we get 471. Now that's the circumference. That's 1 lap around the circle. But he's got 5. So then I need to do 471 times 5 because this says he runs 5 laps. So I get 2,355. And let's look at our distance. It's in feet. So that's how far he ran doing 5 laps. Looking at circle B, part A says calculate the circumference if the diameter is 8 inches. So diameter goes all the way across. So circumference is going to be pi times diameter, 3.14. So times diameter times 8. And we should get 25.12. And that's in inches. And remember that circumference is a measure of distance, so inches. Calculate the radius if the circumference is 94.2 centimeters. So we have the circumference. Remember, if we do circumference divided by pi, that's going to give us our diameter. So first we're going to find diameter, and then we can find radius. 94.2, 3.14. So here we get D equals 30, so that's our diameter. Remember that radius is half of that, so showing my work, 30 divided by 2, I'm going to get 15, and that's centimeters for part B. All right, looking at the next part here, I guess we went from, I did 1, 3, and then 2, but that's okay. Number 4 here. Calculate the area of circle M if the diameter is 12 meters. So the diameter is 12. We're finding the area though. So remember, area is pi times radius times radius. If we have the diameter though, radius is going to be half that. So that's going to be 6. So pi times 6 times 6. 103.04. And that's an area, so it's meters squared. This would count for showing your work. You don't have to do these calculations by hand, but you need to show what you're doing. Calculate the radius if the circumference is 28.26. So starting with circumference, this one's going to be one of the trickier ones on here. 28.26, we need to divide by pi to get the diameter. Fix up that 4 there. So our diameter here, we get 9. All right, so then we have to divide by 2 to get the radius. All right, then we can find the area. So area is going to be pi times radius times radius. So 3.14 for pi. So times 4.5 times 4.5. So I get 63.585. And that's going to be in inches squared because it's an area. All right, number 5, a round mirror has a circumference of 87.92. So when you see circumference, that means that it's a circle. Calculate the area of the mirror. So circumference goes all the way around, right? So to get area, same idea as we just did. So we're going to have to go ahead and divide by pi so that we get the diameter. So that's going to be the diameter. So here the diameter is 28. So we need to get the radius. So divide by 2 to get the radius. So that's going to be 14. And now we can do the area because now we have the radius. So area is pi, so 3.14 times radius times radius. So that's going to be 615.44. And it's in inches, so it's going to be inches squared. All right, number 6 has our shaded area problem. It says, write an expression for the area of the shaded region. So looking at this, the pink region, the shaded region here, we want to know what our strategy is first, and then we can do the expression, right? So we're going to go ahead and say, my strategy is going to be square minus 2 circles, all right? And the expression that we're going to write then is, let's think about what we do. We do length times width, and then we're going to subtract pi times radius times radius. So this is what we want to see when we see expression is, don't put all the numbers in yet. We want to know what's that going to look like. All right, so now when we do this, it says if S is 6 and R is 2, well, we don't need to look back up at the diagram again because we know that this side length 6, so we're going to use that for length and width. So 6 times 6. And then we're going to subtract, R is going to be 2, so we can substitute in 2 for R. And we need to do that twice. It might help to do each of these separately and then do them. So we're going to do 6 times 6 first. It's 36. And this is going to be 12.56. Because then after we do this, we can subtract it straight through on our calculator from left to right. So we get 10.88. And that's an area, and we measured in centimeters, so it's going to be centimeters squared. All right, a rectangle is inscribed in a circle. A part that's confusing here is that this 12 goes with this line. All right, and this 13 goes with this diagonal line, which if we look at it carefully, 13 is the diameter here, all right? So we're going to do each part separately here. Kind of breaks it down for us. So area of the circle is going to be pi times radius, so 3.14. And the diameter here is 13. I'm going to write this up here. So then the radius is half of that, right? So if you divide by 2, you get 6.5. All right, so 3.14 times 6.5 times 6.5. That's how we're going to get our area of this circle. So I'm getting 132.5 0.665, and that's centimeters squared. I'm going to make that a little bit nicer up here. Okay, so there's the area of the whole circle. And then calculate the area of the rectangle. So rectangle, remember, length times width. So 5 times 12. So that's going to be 60, and that's again centimeters squared. And now we want just the shaded region. So we're going to subtract parts A and B. So 132.665 minus 60. So showing our work like that, and then you can finish on your calculator. 72.665 is our final answer. And again, that's centimeters squared. All right, last part here talks about a pizza. The advertised size of a pizza is the length of its diameter. We have to read that carefully. 16-inch pizza means that that's the diameter. If you need to, please draw a picture of it. Always helps to. So 16 inches is the diameter all the way across. So we need the area. Remember, when you do area, though, we need radius. So radius is going to be half of that. That's 8. Right, so area is pi times radius times radius. So 3.14 times 8 times 8. Remember, show your work like that, and then you can calculate it. I get 200.96. And that's inches squared. Right? And now we're looking at the cost. It says if a 16-inch pizza costs $12.50 and is cut into 8 slices, what is the cost per slice? When you look at this cost per slice, we read it from left to right. And first we're going to do the cost, $12.50. And then per, we're going to divide. And number of slices, 8. So $12.50 divided by 8, you get 1.5625, and we do have to round here because we're thinking about money, right? We don't say $1.5625. We would say $1.56. Put the dollar sign in it, and then say per slice. So that's a good way to think about that. Other way, though, cost per square inch. If you always look at this, you're going to find out what the most efficient pizza to buy is for your dollar. So cost per square inch. So cost goes first, 12.50. And this one depends on you getting the first part right, part A. So divide by the area. We're going to get 0.0, we'll write this down and then we'll round 62201 we're getting on our calculator. And think about this is going to be money, right? So we round to the nearest hundredth. So when we round, that 6 is going to, the 2 is going to round the 6 back to 6 because 2 is less than 5. So we're going to say this is 6 cents. Or $0.06 per square inch. And we can abbreviate square inch as SQ period IN period. All right, use this as you need to help you out, and good luck.